What is up, Jags fans? Woo, boy, am I glad to be here today with you guys. Oh man, what a weekend! What a draft! If this is your first time joining us, awesome. Glad you're here. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure to follow the Instagram and the Twitter. That way you can get updates on everything. If you subscribe to the YouTube channel, you'll get an update every time we go live and every time a film breakdown comes out. The film breakdowns are awesome, so you want to be a part of those. And the live shows are great because I basically just read you guys' comments and I try to get you guys involved in the show. So basically this show, I want to kind of talk about the draft, but rather than me talk about the draft, I want you guys to talk about the draft. So this is going to be a show where I read more comments than usual. That's my plan anyways. So if I missed your comment about the draft picks, just type it again, and I'll try to get to it. But I'm glad you guys are here. Great time. I mean, I always love talking to Jags fans, even if it's like in this format. It's still good. I will let you guys know. I got you here. I am coming off of. I just did a show with this big Vegas gambling YouTube channel. Like they wanted to talk about the Jags and things like that, so they asked me to go on and. I had a great time. I mean, I talked Jags. I'm actually going to post that video on my channel tomorrow. So after this one goes live, I'm going to make sure that we get to that one. I always like to get the comments, like, first people in here to shout out. Nolly Full Cav, always one of the first ones in here. Shout out to Nolly. You're the man. He's a member of the channel. You also can be a member of the channel if you want to be. And Nolly is. That's why he's able to use those sweet Blake Bortles emojis and things like that. DJM says, Jason Son. Cass Shoots says, yo, what's up? Tallahassee just says, he hates Balky. That's all he has to say. Tallahassee, we need more from you than that. I know you have more thoughts than you just hate Trent Balky. Gerald McKinnon says, what's up, Jason? Hey, Gerald, it's always good to see you. Robert Colson says, it's a Jag story I wrote if anyone's interested. Very different take. Robert, post a link. I don't know. I mean, check out, is it YouTube channel? Click on his name. I mean, I'll promote whatever. This is Jags United, bro. I'm here for the Jags. We already have a $5 super chat. The show just started from Grace Lambert, who's always good about giving super chat donations. So Grace Lambert says, help me understand why we only care about defense. Well, I think the logic is that they spent the money on offense and free agency. And listen, I think that's there's their first question. I went on this dude's YouTube channel. He asked, like, what's the deal? You got Trevor, you guys just like loaded up on defense. And this was like what I tried to justify. I tried to just be like, I don't think anyone, I mean, the line was set at 6.5 games. We talked all things gambling. If that's your thing, you're going to love the video. The line set at 6.5. I mean, that's probably a good number for me. I think they're more looking to 2023 for a potential like real playoff run in Trevor's third year, which I hate to say, but if that's the truth, then the receivers, the real tight ends, they come in 2023. That's all I have for you there. But yeah, we're gonna get all into that. I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts. Do you guys think we went too heavy on defense? Do you think it was the right amount? Do you think that we did enough in free agency? I mean, you guys tell me. Sav Jag says, our defense will impress a lot of people this year. I think you're onto something there. I think they will. Nolly Full Cap says, positives only. I like Snoop. Look, if Nolly's coming in here wanting positives only, I owe it to Nolly. He's one of the oldest channel members that we have. Look, you guys know me. I'll be positive either way. It doesn't matter. Charlie Boy says, Duval. That's right, Charlie Boy. Robert Colson says, I love to think out of the box. Okay. Well, hey, Robert, like I said, post it. Well, I'll promote it. I don't care. Cass Shoot says, why do people hate Bulky? Cass, here's why. Because the picks that he's made haven't seemed to work out. I mean, you got to think he was a part of the last couple picks here with CJ Henderson and Clavon Chason, guys that were bad. So, although Caldwell was the GM, like he was a part of it. The moves he's made, I can go on and on. The moves he's made aren't necessarily great. You could make the argument this is his first time being the real GM. And look, Cass, I think you could make that argument. But yeah, DJM gives the grade a B for the draft. Look, I've heard a lot of C's, B minuses, so I think B is probably on par with what a lot of people think. Tallahassee says the only pick he liked was Devin Lloyd. Devin Lloyd does seem to be like the steal of the draft. Like I was even reading some like PFF articles. They were talking about how Devin Lloyd was a steal at that pick. The film breakdowns are coming. Look, the first guy, I've already dove into some of the Devin Lloyd film. His stats actually don't tell the whole story, and I know that's usually the case. But Devin Lloyd is one of he plays better than his stats represented. So I think you guys are gonna like the Devin Lloyd film breakdown when that comes out, but probably tomorrow or the next day. Sedin Sesko says will be a better year than last year. Well, Sedin, that's a low bar, but I like it. I like it. Again, I'm gonna try to get to all these comments. So if I get backed up again, type it again. I'm sorry. We're gonna try to get to it. Like, listen, I want today to be about what you guys think. Doesn't matter what I think. I don't know crap about the draft. I mean, it's a coin flip either way. Should they have gone more offense? Probably. But look, if they had a draft board and they had these guys evaluated at the top, I think the only pick you can. Never mind. I was gonna say the only pick you could really trash was the Travon Walker if you would rather have Aiden Hutchinson. But a lot of people are kind of crapping on Snoop Connor, Gregory Jr. I don't know much about Montrake Brown, 7th round pick. I think if he gives you anything, that's a bonus there, for sure. Caleb says, "Yo, what's up, Florida boy?" Hey, bro. Hey, born and raised, baby, Jacksonville, Florida. Timmy Devil says Kevin Austin probably won't make the team. Basically, a Jalen Camp. Okay, that's fair. A lot of people have already given comps to like Alan Lazard and how Alan Lazard didn't make the team. He ended up being good with Green Bay. I mean, I don't know. Florida boy. Oh, you weren't talking to me. You were talking to Florida boy. Oh, Caleb. I thought you were talking to me. That's okay. Jags history. Liked the picks except Walker. See, now I think Jags history, and I think that's where a lot of people are. I could make a case for Travon Walker. I could. I really could. I wouldn't have picked him, but I could make a case for him. Definitely. Spurville says Travon Walker. What? Okay. Spur, look. Here's my case for Travon Walker. I seriously think that Travon Walker is going to play on the D-line. Like, I know people are saying, Bucky Brooks just came out and said he's going to play outside linebacker. I think he'll play outside linebacker in base package. In base package, when you have two outside linebackers, then he will play outside linebacker with Josh Allen. The problem is that you don't play base package very often. You play it on power formations against the offense. You play it on early downs. But most of the NFL is played in nickel. And in nickel, you only have one outside linebacker. And I think that ends up being Josh Allen. I think Travon Walker puts his hand in the dirt, plays the 5 technique, basically plays that Calais Campbell role. I think best case scenario, Travon Walker's Calais Campbell. And if he is, we're pumped. We're good. We're good with that. But he's gonna be efficient against the run. He's gonna stop the double teams from pushing the line of scrimmage back because he's that strong and athletic. Look, we're in a division with Jonathan Taylor and Derrick Henry. We got to stop the run. We can't be doormats for these run offenses. We have to be able to do it. And I think the Jags showed that's their priority by drafting probably a 5 tech first, and then drafting a middle linebacker second, and then probably your other edge linebacker opposite of Josh Allen on base packages and when Chad Muma. Muma middle linebacker, Devin Lloyd playing out. I think you're going to have this is what I think your base package is going to be, and I posted on Twitter. I think your nose is going to be some Devon Hamilton, probably and then your 3 tech is going to be Fatsuki, the guy they just signed. I think your big 5 is going to be Travon Walker. I think your outside linebackers are going to be Devin Lloyd and Josh Allen. I think your middle linebackers are going to be Foye Lukin and Chad Muma. I think that's your front 7. And are they going to rotate guys in? Like, Dwan Smoot. Yeah, they're going to rotate Dwan Smoot in. They're going to rotate these guys in, Roy Robertson Harris. But I think that's your front 7. Because I think Lloyd actually could play as a decent edge. I really do think he'll be a good edge in base packages. And then when we go into nickel, I think Muma comes off the field. Walker moves, stays where he's at. And look, the thing about defenses is you have to be hybrid and versatile. So I'm not saying that Josh Allen's always going to be the 9 technique edge and Travon Walker's always going to be the 5 tech big end. They can switch. I mean, Josh Allen's had success on the interior, but I just think that's going to be when you need it, that's where you go for sure. But you have to switch it up. Timmy Devil says he loved the Walker pick. I love that. Charlie Boy says, how many wins do you think we win this year? Okay, so I was just talking on this Vegas channel. I think 6.5 is the number, and I mean that's a big improvement from last year. So Vegas thinks we're going to get a lot better. I think 6.5 is a good number. If a break or two goes our way, we hit 7, 8. If it doesn't, 5, 6. So I don't think any realistic fan is looking at next year as being the year we make the realistic run. But 2023, look, man, I'll die on that hill. I think 2023 is a good year for us. Trevor's third year, getting people in here, I like it. Tallahassee says the second linebacker and 2 cornerbacks didn't make sense. So apparently they just went best available player because, again, they don't make sense because I don't think Muma plays on nickel packages. And if Muma doesn't play in nickel packages, you basically took a guy pretty high for that's only going to play as a 2-down linebacker. I agree with you there. But look, there's some guys that take best available player regardless of position. If that's what the Jags did, that's what the Jags did. It's what it looks like they did. I don't think I would have done that, but I don't know. Florida Boy says, Jaguars had a decent draft besides the last 2 picks. Also, I would have liked another guard. Yeah, I mean, we talk a lot about all the picks. Is Luke Fortner the least talked about player we drafted? Look, he played center at Kentucky. He also played right guard as well. He offers versatility, and he can 36 games at Kentucky, 23 games at guard, 13 games at center. I mean, the guy's done it all along that interior. Brandon Sheriff is a lifelong right guard. Does he make the move to left? And then, you put Fortner out at right, and then you put Shatley in at center? I don't know. I mean, that's a lot of people with question marks. Can Fortner play it right at the NFL level? Can Sheriff make the adjustment to left? I mean, maybe Fortner's just depth. Maybe Ben Barch is their guy. And maybe it's hard to know right now. It's hard to know. Timmy Devil says the second linebacker pick definitely made sense. We only had 3 linebackers after Lloyd. Yeah, I know. We need as many linebackers as possible. Caleb says, to be fair, we had Nevin Lawson out there last year after injuries. Okay, so that's a good point. There's certain positions that the Jags just always seem to be just like scraping the bottom of the barrel after all the injuries come full circle. Corner, like you said. You got Nevin Lawson out there. Chris Claybrooks got re-signed. I mean, no disrespect to those guys. I mean, think those guys are amazing athletes. They've accomplished a lot in life. Not who I want on the field right now. The offensive line always seem to have Casey McDermott out there. Tyler Shatley, who could make the transition. AJ Can. I mean, these aren't guys I want out there. Ben Barch still has something to prove to me. So you're right. There are those positions that you're going to get hurt. Receiver. I mean, we ended the year with the most scrub squad receivers. Now, I know we weren't in contention, so things are different. But, we added Zay Jones and Christian Kirk. I don't know. I don't know if that's enough. I mean, we signed the undrafted free agent. Maybe. Gerald says the Jags drafted for the foes in their division, specifically the Titans and the Colts. So, yeah, that's a good point. We did talk about that a little bit. At the beginning of the show. Florida Boy says those were Caldwell picks, not bulky. I'm going to scroll down on the bottom of these comments again. Sorry, guys, if I miss it and it's good, type it again. I just want to kind of stay up to date and current so that people, stay on the channel. And again, if you're first time on the show or watching the show, this is our live show. It's hopefully it's entertaining. But we make our money on the film breakdown. So go back and look at the channel. It's like its own playlist, film breakdowns. I broke down, the free agents the Jags signed, Lucan and Christian Kirk and Sheriff. I have a breakdown on Trevon Walker, so you can take a look at all that. And then this week coming up, Devin Lloyd breakdown will be out there. Muma pick will be out there. I'll try to do the Fortner pick. I will. So we'll see. We'll see how much further I get beyond that. Ben the Scientist says, I'd love having Juwan Taylor at left guard. I don't know if he's ever played left guard. He could. I don't think he did. I mean, I watched Florida games. I mean, that's kind of like the team that's on a lot around here in Jacksonville. Don't remember him ever playing left guard, but I could be wrong. Robert Colson says 1010 XL said that Taylor has been informed that he will be moving to left guard. Oh, apparently Juwan Taylor is the new left guard, which again, don't think he's ever played it. Daryl Lewis says, I like the Matt Jones 18. Daryl, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Look, I liked Matt Jones coming out. He is what he is. I'm not delusional. I love, and this is weird, I love people that change positions in college. Like, I love people that change positions. Like the tight end from Virginia that I really wanted. I can't remember his name, but he was a quarterback, and then I love that. I love that. Jacoby Brissett was a tight end at Florida, and then transitioned to quarterback. Like, I love that. I love when people change positions. I don't know. I have a thing for that. It's weird. I can't explain it. Moon Illusion says, yo, Moon. What up, Moon? I appreciate you being here. Let me know what you think about the draft. Bert the Fish says, Lloyd can also play edge. Our front seven will be a force. Yeah, so it definitely looks like they invested heavy into the front seven, which, again, I'm here for. I'm cool with that. Let's go. Let's get it done. Caleb says, yeah, he was first team all SEC. Okay. Richard Lely says, I like Montrek Brown way more than the Greg Jr. pick. Okay. All right. Yeah, Greg Jr. was a little tricky to me. Ouchita Baptist, 6 foot, 190, 46 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 7 pass breakups, all great American Conference. I don't know if I've ever even heard of someone being drafted from the all great American Conference. And he has 1 career interception. Interesting. Interessante. Grace Lambert points out that I'm at 1.99K subscribers. Hey, boys, it's on you guys. If you're not subscribed, shame on you. Shame on you. Jesus is King with the $10 super chat. Jesus is King is so consistently supporting the channel. Oh man, I wish I could convey my thanks to you, Jesus King. I really do. He says, let's go. Play Walker on the line, Lloyd on the edge, and Muma at inside linebacker. That's what I want them to do. Like, I think they have to. You can't draft Muma where you did and have him as a backup. You can't, right? There's no way. I don't know. Bert the Fish says, did you see how we're working out a 6'6" Clemson forward in minicamp for tight ends? Like a basketball player? I don't know. Daryl Lewis says Matt Jones was Johnny Manziel for Arkansas, just not that speed. Bro, don't compare Matty Jones to Johnny Manziel. First of all, as much as I love Johnny Manziel's college film, Matt Jones might have been nastier. And it takes a lot for me to say because I'm a huge fan of Johnny Manziel's college film. Second of all, Johnny Manziel transitioned to receiver and was actually a damn good receiver. And if he would have stayed clean, he could have carved out a decent little NFL career. But that's a story for another time. R.I.P. Matt Jones. If you see Maurice Jones-Drew, I mean, he's my favorite Jaguar of all time. That's why he's on the wall as well. Joe McKinnon. Jason, I read somewhere that the golden rule of the NFL scouts is traits over production. What do you think? I mean, I think you can look back throughout history and find people that have done both. I mean, you can find people that were just very productive in college and then went on to be very productive in the NFL. You look at a guy like Johnny Manziel, Johnny Manziel's on the brain. Jadeveon Clowney. Very productive in college. Very productive in the NFL. But then you look at a guy like Jalen Ramsey. As much as people want to say what it was, I mean, corners is a position where they don't get thrown on a lot. Even Sauce Gardner didn't have a lot of targets his direction. So those guys were just a skill set and the traits that you knew were going to be great and were going to transfer to the NFL. And those guys got drafted high and they ended up being good. Well, I think Sauce Gardner will be good, but Jalen Ramsey definitely was. For sure. Yabba Dabba says, Jesus, does he need a tithe 10% of his donations? Yeah, hey, I will. Hey, listen. I tithe. Are you kidding me? I'm a religious guy. I am. All right, Bert the Fish. The 3-3 bear scheme that Caldwell runs gives us the ability to bring out the best in our players and put the best ones on the field. Now, Bert, that's a good point. I like that 3-3. So just to kind of give people a little bit of insight into what that means is the 3-3-5 is basically was used to, TCU and Gary Patterson actually popularized it in the early 2000s, having 3 defensive linemen, 3 linebackers, and 5 defensive backs. I mean, we call that basically nickel. I mean, that's a nickel package. I mean, the traditional nickel package for years in the NFL was 4 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers, and 5 defensive backs. Basically, that 4th defensive lineman transitioned to an outside linebacker, so now it's a 3-3. The bottom line is that it's all the same. And teams are playing, a big safety in the box as basically like a smaller linebacker. Nothing has really changed. No, there's really nothing new under the sun. The bear front does require the defensive lineman to kind of take up the interior more than having the linebackers fill on the interior, and that helps if you have athletic linebackers rather than like stout linebackers. But you're right, Bert. You're right. Let's see here. Moon Illusions. I'm excited for Kevin Austin. The upside is there. Do you think he makes the roster? I think so. I think our receiver is one of our weakest position group. And I think because of that, he does. I really do. Florida Boy says, all I know is Josh Allen is going to be hunting next season 15 sacks. Okay, so on this Vegas YouTube show I just did, which I'm going to be posting tomorrow because I recorded it, and it was a good interview. You guys would be proud of me. I mean, I was the Jaguars rep, and I really made it sound like I knew what I was talking about. I mean, they're going to be like, dang, this guy actually watches football. He asked me what I thought about Travon Walker's like over-under 6.5 sacks. I said I'd take the under on that. I don't think Travon Walker gets more than 6.5 sacks. But I said what Travon Walker's going to do is he's going to free up Josh Allen to hit his over. So whatever Josh Allen's is, I mean, I'm sure his will come in a little bit higher. I'm sure his will come in around 7 or 8. I take the over on that. I think he gets up to 9 or 10 next year just because Travon Walker is going to demand so much attention. He's going to demand the double team. He's going to demand the tight end, the extra blocker. He's going to demand the chip from the running back in the backfield. It's going to free up Josh Allen to use his speed move, which he's known for, to get to the edge and get to the quarterback. So I think that Travon Walker had just as much to do with helping Josh Allen as it did helping the Jags defense. If you kind of get what I'm saying, and I guess this is what I'm trying to say, is like if Josh Allen was in this year's draft, where would he have gotten picked? Like, would he have gotten picked 3rd or 4th? Would he have been picked instead of Kayvon Thibodeau? Would he have been picked after Kayvon Thibodeau? Would he have been picked before Travon Walker? I don't know. Something to think about. Sedin Sesko says, first home game is going to be crazy. Sedin, I can't wait to be there. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Tallahassee says he just can't watch Taylor Hall. Tallahassee, you're coming in here just like pessimistic, okay? Look, I get it. You're a Jags fans. Taylor, not even the holds that get me. It's the false starts, man. It's the false starts for me, or I'm just like, dude, watch the ball, bro. They teach you that in Pop Warner. Timmy Devil says, he won't beat out Buswell, and I started this. Trevor loves Buswell, and their wives hang out. He will be cut. Okay. All right. Florida Boy says, Chase Young got 7.5 sacks his rookie year. Chase Young, I think, is a better defensive end than Travon Walker's going to be. Now, I think, again, Travon Walker will play some defensive end, like true defensive end, like 9 technique, like outside of the tight end shoulder. But I think mostly where he's going to end up being is like inside the tackle shoulder or just outside the tackle shoulder, which depending on the formation, probably be to the strong side. So if he's outside of the tackle in the strong side, that means he's going to have to defeat a tackle and a tight end typically. And Josh Allen will get to play the 1v1, which is, again, I think is what they're trying to do. Gerald McKinnon, I'm wondering if Justin Ross ever got picked up. He did. I'd hate to see the team that gets him and he gets an injury. So he went to the Chiefs, right? He got signed by the Chiefs. And I think even Trevor Lawrence tweeted about it and said that the Chiefs got a steal. So a lot of people are pissed because it's like, I think the whole theme of like the fan base is like, make Trevor happy. All we care about is Trevor. If Trevor wanted Justin Ross, go get Justin Ross. Is Justin Ross as your 5th receiver going to move the needle compared to a guy like Laquan Treadwell? Is that going to move the needle? If Trevor's comfortable with him and wants to give him a shot and is happier, like go get him. Like I understand, we're running an NFL franchise. We can't play favorites. It's your 5th receiver. Go get, that's the thing. Now I bash the Jags a lot. I try to be positive, but I call it like I see it. And I was not happy with them taking not a skill position player, not a real one in this draft. I was pretty upset about that. But you got to give them credit because they did trade back into the first round. Now, if there's one thing we all talked about, we talked about trading down, we talked about trading up, and they did trade back into the first round. They packaged some picks and they moved back into the first round. So you got to give them credit for that. And if Devin Lloyd turns out to be a good player, like that happened because the front office decided to package some picks and move back up. We wanted them all to do that. So we got to give them credit for that. And if that was their best available player, and again, we talked about Devin Lloyd was being considered like the biggest steal of this draft. So got to give them credit for that. As much as I want to bash them not taking a skill position, it appears they literally just took the best available player, at every spot for sure. Tallahassee, I got picked by the Chiefs. Moon Illusion says Snoop actually has deceptive speed for a goal line specialist. Okay, I've watched no film on Snoop. I haven't. I look forward to it, but I've watched none. I wouldn't even sit here and pretend like I know. I mean, that really grinds my gears when people are like, "Oh yeah, I watched Snoop. I watched Snoop Connor film." Like, really? Because it takes me like 3 days to watch a film. How did you do it in 4 hours? Like, I always want to ask people that. Like, oh, after watching the Snoop Connor film, really? Because he played like a bunch of games and a bunch of snaps. There's no way you've watched this. I mean, people watch highlights and they call it watching their film, but it's definitely not the same. I'll just tell you that right now. All right, I'm off my soapbox, boys. Sorry. Pokey443 says, hello. Hello, Pokey. Good to see you, as always. Moon Illusions says, Mevis is a massive kicker. Hey, I like big kickers. What can I say? DJ Vox, he says, yo, excited for this young team. We pretty much have 3 first-round picks, Walker, Lloyd, and ETN. Hey, with that logic, Clavon Chazon, because he's been MIA, so he's also a first-round pick. We traded CJ Henderson, and we ended up getting, was it Devin Lloyd we got for that pick? I don't know, but hey, so yeah, you're right. But you're right, though. I talked about ETN on that show I was just on. It's going to be good for sure. Florida Boy says Kevin Austin led college football in most contested catches. That I didn't know. That's a really good stat there. I like that, Florida Boy. I like that. Timmy Devil says, no more babying Trevor. Time to go make people around you better. There's a reason why Ross went undrafted. Ooh, okay, Timmy. Ooh, spicy. I think there's some truth to that. I mean, you see Aaron Rodgers out there making people better. You see Tom Brady out there making people better. I just don't know if Trevor Lawrence, it's fair to compare Trevor Lawrence to those guys, because I don't necessarily see Josh Allen out there making people better. I don't necessarily see Russell Wilson making people better. I mean, slightly, but he didn't do anything with that Seattle roster. I think there's very few quarterbacks that can literally elevate their entire team. And although I think Trevor can do that, I just don't know if it's fair to hold him to that standard like right now. That's all I'm saying. But Timmy, like, we're on the same page about that. We really are. Moon Illusion says, I've been looking at 2023 prospects, and there are some elite receivers. I feel like that it'll be 2021 draft with Chase, Smith, and Waddle. Yeah, I was looking at like the way early mock drafts for 2023, but then I remembered the way early mocks for 2022, and it had Sam Howell going number 1. It had, who else was up there? That was just like sad. Kayvon Thibodeau was number 2, which that was still pretty close. But it was that type of thing, and it was just like way off for sure. Brandon Latouche says, I just watched some of Grant Morgan from Arkansas film, and he looks nice. Look, I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped for sure. It's going to be a good time. We need people. We need. It's hard not to get better. So at least we can all go to bed tonight knowing the Jags got better. Timothy Johnson. Sorry. He says, let's just keep up with the great content. Oh, okay. Appreciate it, Timothy. I appreciate that. I'm trying here, man. I'm actually pretty excited. I'm doing something new this summer, and I know some of you guys aren't gonna like it. Some of you will. I don't care. So my line of work, my schedule. Basically, I work 10 months out of the year really hard, and I get 2 months off. Okay, so for June and July, I'm gonna try to do like a daily morning show, and my goal is to kind of stick to all sports, but I have no filter because I am honest. I'm an honest man, and I'm gonna just say what I talk about. So if that bleeds into like other things, I'm gonna do it. So be looking for that. Subscribe. I'll probably do a different channel. And just let you guys know what the channel's called. So there'll be some content. Moon Illusions, Spencer Rattler. That's who it was. Spencer Rattler was mocked like top 3. I was like, dude. No. So these way too early mocks are just no good. And Leo, you're right. Florida Boy, you guys have no trust in Dougie P. Yeah, I guess that's fair. That's fair. Look, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and act like we do. He's proven nothing to us. He's won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles, but that means nothing to us. In fact, if we're playing the odds, I mean, how often does a coach win 2 Super Bowls with 2 different teams? Odds are not in your favor. So, but you're right. Listen, he can prove it to me. Look, you can swing me with a couple interviews, and you'll convince me. But just right now, I'm not convinced. Daryl Lewis says he's 3rd in NCAA football in man-to-man coverage. Okay, so look, we're talking about these types of analytics that I think are hard to evaluate, but it does help. It does help. If there's one thing we know is that Bulky is super into like the analytics for sure. DJ M says Jaguars United in the morning. I know what you're saying. I know what you're doing there, DJ M. I know what you're doing there. I'm a big community guy myself. Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be fun. Listen, I got time. I really like doing this. I'm gonna keep doing it for sure. I'm committed to putting out more content. It's gonna stray off the Jaguars a lot. So that's why I'm gonna do. I have to do a different channel. Timmy Devil, I have to do a different channel because people are gonna come thinking I'm talking about the Jags, and it's gonna be like, bro, I'll talk politics, bro. You think I won't? You think I won't? Listen. You guys may think I'm just some sort of like football nut. I got a political science degree, okay? So come at me with that pop culture, current event stuff, and I'm ready for it. I won't do it here, though. I won't do it here. Merlusion says, what's our schedule looking like? I heard it's pretty rough. So I think last place in the division gets the better schedule. I don't think that it's. Let's take a look here. I mean, what do we have? We can take a look. I got nothing but time, boys. 2022 Jags schedule. All right, let's take a look here. We got. Is it sad that the Jacksonville? Let me help you out here. Is it sad that the Jacksonville, the South Alabama Jaguars comes up? All right. Home, Cowboys, Giants, Ravens, Broncos, Raiders, Texans, Colts, Titans. Away, Commanders, got them, boys. Jets, Lions, Chiefs, Chargers, Eagles, Texans, Colts, Titans. Cowboys are scuffed, easy. Giants are scuffed, easy. Ravens will beat us. Broncos will beat us. Raiders will beat us. Easy win at home. Easy win at home. Taking the win at home there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 wins at home, boys. Commanders, scuffed, easy win. 6. Jets, easy. 7. Lions, easy. 8. Upset the Eagles, 9, 10, 11. 11 wins, boys. 11 wins. And if you don't believe me, this is not the channel for you. I'm just kidding. All right, the AFC West and the NFC East. We have the AFC West heavy. OG says Moon Illusions. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Hey, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Look, listen, we'll be at all the home games. I actually ran into a lot of people at the Jags games this year that we talked, like they were like, "Hey, Jags United," and we talked Jags for like a couple of dudes. Like I saw in the Bud Zone, we talked Jags for like 10 minutes in the Bud Zone. Like the game's going on, we're getting blown out, and they're like, "Oh, dude, I comment on your channel all the time." I'm like, "Oh, thank you. Like I love talking Jags. Like let's talk Jags." This is me, boys. This is me in the Bud Zone or on YouTube. I'm the same way. I'll talk Jags all day. Timmy Devil says, I see a lot of L's for us. Timmy, come on. Positive channel. Positive. Wydock. What up, Wydock? Good to see you. He says, what up, Jason? Been a while since I caught a live stream. Well, that's shame on you, dude. Shame on you. I'm just kidding. You know I love you, Wydock. You missed it, Wydock, and I'll update you, personally. I just went on a channel with a big Vegas odds YouTuber, like a big channel. They asked me to talk about the Jags and things about that. And I represented the Jags well, I think. So I'm going to post that video tomorrow. And you guys let me know how I did. Because, I got to talk about gambling, which gambling, another thing that I'll talk about a lot on my new channel. DJM says 11-8, baby. Bro, that's what we do, DJM. We win 11 games easy. Trevor, comeback player of the year. Well, let's do it. Daryl Lewis with the upside down smile and 11. Come on. Tallahassee. Now you jinxed it. It'll be 11 losses. Hey, 11 losses means 8 wins, my guy. Show me someone in this chat that won't take 8 wins next year. That's what I thought. DJM says we are winning the Super Bowl. Okay. Listen. Hey, I'm all for it, dude. No one's going to party harder than me if we win the Super Bowl. That's for sure. Pokey says, I'm going to be moving soon. Moving to Jacksonville, from Jacksonville. You let us know, Pokey. Timmy Devil says, United. What's your honest opinion of Ingram? Will he make it to the second contract here? Bro, I'm not going to lie. I'm not a huge fan of Evan Ingram, and it's nothing to do with him as a person. It's nothing to do with him as an athlete. It's just all has to do with him as his ability to stay on the field. I mean, I'll pull up Evan Ingram's stats, and we can look at them. But I mean, it's not something that I think people are going to be too pumped about. Let's zoom in here so y'all can see. I know y'all are blind like myself. All right, so we have games started in 2017-11. Well, that's solid. I'll take that. 2018 games started 8. Not great. Game started in 2019, 6. Okay. 2020, 14 games started. In 2021, 12 games started. You know, that's actually more starts than I thought he had in the last 2 years. So that means he missed 3 games in 2020. And what is that? That's math's hard. 6 games in 2021. So that's a total of 9 missed games in the last 2 years. It's not great, but it's not horrible. Let's see here. He had 109 targets. Last year he had 73 targets, 46 receptions, 408 yards. Now, I think 408 yards as a tight end would put him in some pretty good company here in Jacksonville as far as tight ends, which is sad. Catch percentage 63. I mean, that's pretty good there. What's his yards per target? 5.6. That's pretty low. I feel better looking at his stats. I just like as a player, I just don't ever remember him, being available. And I mean, someone just pointed out in the chat, Sheriff's the same way. Sheriff wasn't, but look, I'm hoping for it. Look, we need a tight end. I mean, coming out of college, I was big on Evan Ingram, but he just didn't show me much after that. Florida Boy says, I'm more confident against the NFC East than the AFC West. Yeah, that's fair. AFC West is stacked, bro. Their quarterbacks are just disgusting. Timmy Johnson. Yeah, y'all might have that L dress on, but I got a W shirt on. Let's go, Jags. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's insulting or not. I'll take it. Listen, it's hard to insult me, bro. I have no pride. I don't care at all. You're never going to get me. Bro, I love when people on Twitter will say crap about me, and I'm like, bro, you are barking up the wrong tree if you think I'm going to care at all. I have no pride. I have a Matt Jones jersey on the wall. Pokey says, I'm not in Jacksonville. Okay. Caleb says, I thought there was only 17 games. Caleb, I don't know how many games there are anymore. Don't they keep adding them? I thought there's 18 now, isn't there? I don't know. Moon Illusion says, injuries and drops have been Evan Ingram's problem. Grace Lambert with another $2. Grace, stop doing super chat money. Stop it. Says, thanks for keeping me entertained this Monday night. Yeah, Grace knows more about the Jags than a lot of people I know. Even if she does get a lot of information from me. Pokey, I live in a small town, and the new place I'm moving to, still in the same town. Oh. So you're just moving your stuff from one house to another. Okay, I gotcha, Pokey, gotcha. Moon Illusion says, Sheriff's always injured. Yep. Doc, I wouldn't be surprised if we line Evan Ingram up in wide receiver and get Dan Arnold in the tight end position and have them. Oh, okay. Doc, that's pretty like that. Having Evan Ingram is more of like the move wide tight end, and having Arnold is like the inline tight end. I like that. Hey, I like Dan Arnold. I have a sneaking suspicion that Dan Arnold will be more productive than Evan Ingram, and not necessarily in like catches and yards, but as far as blocking and like being helping the offense. I think Trevor and Dan Arnold kind of had something, didn't they? Before Dan Arnold got hurt, didn't it seem like Trevor was looking at Dan Arnold like early in the drop back? I thought he was. I mean, Dan Arnold was one of the best things that Urban Meyer did for us, was adding Dan Arnold, in my opinion. Moon Illusion says, our tight end room could be bare after next season with Arnold and Ingram's contract up. I'll draft a guy. I saw a tight end in the way too early 2023. I think the Jags were taking a tight end at 4. So there you go. Kyle Pitts 2.0. Let's do it. Daryl Lewis says, Yo, you think Cisco is going to get the start at safety after training camp? Man, I don't know, man. I don't really know what this defensive staff is going to be looking for in their safeties. I think they're going to end up playing three. Now, three. I mean, you got three corners. You have Shaq Griffin. You got Campbell, and then you got Darius Williams as your corners. But yeah, that safety spot. Yeah, I mean, Cisco could do it. Cisco definitely came on late in the season last year and definitely looked good for sure. DJ Vox says Evan Ingram's quarterbacks were trash, which I get for sure. Gerald McKinnon says every team in the AFC West could make the playoffs. It's possible. There's no sneaking in the wild card for the Jags. Got to win the division. And look, that they asked on the show I was just on. They asked my opinion on what I thought how the AFC South would shake down. I mean, we're looking at a Matt Ryan led Colts team that couldn't make the playoffs last year. We're looking at a Titans team that now all of a sudden Derrick Henry is questionable as whether he can play every game, which is new for him. A Ryan Tannehill that has been declining recently. A Malik Willis possible quarterback competition. They got rid of A.J. Brown. I mean, that Titans team's not looking as good as they have in the past. The Texans are still led by Davis Mills, and although I do like what they did with Derek Stingley, I don't necessarily think they're going to be a threat to the division this year. It's definitely more open this year than it was last year. Do the Jags win it? Probably not, but it is more open this year for sure. For sure. Moon Illusions, will Darius Williams be our slot guy? I think so. Unless the defensive staff comes out and wants Tyson Campbell to play slot, which I think he had some success at the edge. So I think that's their plan as of now. But again, you got to think about injuries and things like that. You never know what's going to happen. Caleb says, do you think Shenault will have a good year next year? I want him to. I really do. I just don't know if he's that guy. And I hate to say that because I know a lot of people are big on him. But I wasn't really overly stoked on his college film. As a rookie, he kind of gave me some hope about how maybe he could make the transition. But I don't know, man. If I'm betting, I'm not betting on him. Florida Boy, United. Do you think safety is our weakest position on the defense now? Absolutely. Now, absolutely. I like the two, even our reserves on the D-line, Tufele, Smoot. I like those guys. I really do. The secondary, absolutely the worst position. Don't want to see Dewey Wingard on the field. Don't want to. Listen. I'd never talk bad about people as a person. I would never talk bad about people. But if I see Rayshon Jenkins on the field, I mean that dude. Not only did he underperform on his contract, he legitimately cost us games. Got ejected from 2 games. Swung on people twice. Bro, you're a captain of the team, and you're swinging on people twice? No, thank you, bro. No, thank you. What kind of captain is that? A scuffed captain. Probably a great guy off the field. I get competitive too when I play sports, but bro, you're a captain. You got to be better than that. Jersey Jaguar says, we should do a live stream with all the Jags YouTubers on one day. You, UCF, Jagging Off, Brett James, Men in the Teal podcast, and obviously myself. The internet would explode. Hey, Jersey, listen, hit me up on Twitter. I do collab stuff all the time. Literally last week, I did a show. It's on UCF Jaguars channel. Me, UCF Jaguar, James Coleman, and Lori Fitzpatrick. We literally did a collab show last week. It was great. A lot of fun. I'm all about uniting Jags fans. I could give a crap about, some YouTubers get weird about giving other YouTubers, likes and subscriptions. UCF Jaguar was great for me, getting me started out. I mean, he pumped me up and gassed me up all those times. So the least I could do is pay it back forward to you guys. So hit me up on Twitter. We'll do something. I'm pretty excited. Florida Boy, how many games would you like for us to win in order for you to be convinced? How many games would you like for us to win in order for you to be convinced of what? That we're like a threat this year? Peterson. I'm talking about Doug Peterson. I'm with you. Okay. Listen, more than a win total, because look, I've watched so many games where the refs screw us or the kicker misses and crap like that. I don't really care about wins. I want to see like progression. Like, that's what pissed me off about last year is Trevor Lawrence didn't get better. He was better week 1 than he was week 16. So I want to see progression. I want to see the team getting better. I'm not, pie in the sky thinking we're going to win the Super Bowl next year. But I want to see the team get better. I want Trevor Lawrence to want to sign a second contract here. I want this team to be moving in the right direction. If Doug Peterson can show me that, I'm good. Now, one gripe I had with Urban Meyer, because I liked Urban Meyer. I'm born and raised in Florida. I live 2 hours from Gainesville. I watched Urban Meyer win 2 national championships with Tim Tebow, Aaron Hernandez, Riley Cooper, the Pouncey Twins. I watched all that. But the gripe I have with Urban Meyer, and I think Urban Meyer is a good coach, but where he messed up was he did nothing to help Trevor. Absolutely nothing. He brought in Dan Arnold in the middle of the season. He drafted Travis Etienne, which got hurt. That was unfortunate. He brought in Marvin Jones Jr. That's not enough, dude. He didn't do anything to help Trevor, and that's what pissed me off. Peterson, at least he went out and got Christian Kirk. At least he got Evan Ingram. At least he got Brandon Sheriff. Look, at least he did that. So help my boy Trevor out, and I'll be convinced of Dougie P. Don't care about the wins and losses this year. Timmy Johnson says, nothing against you. Oh, this is going to be good. Nothing against you. I was just saying that these negative Jags fans wear them L dresses, and the true fans wear them W shirts because we are ride or die. True fan. Oh, thank you. Timmy, nothing. I know. Nothing. I wouldn't take it personally anyways. I really wouldn't. I'll talk Jags regardless of what people think. I've had people in the comments tell me I don't know anything. That's fine. I probably don't. Yeah, no pride. Timmy Devil says, yeah, I'm not feeling Rayshawn now. He probably should never be a captain again. Not only should he not be a captain, he should play for another team next year. That's what I think. Again, great guy, probably loves his family. Go play somewhere else. Harley Morrell, Daniel Thomas, give that man some more reps. He is a guy that's like, when healthy and on the field, you're always like, oh, dang, he played pretty well. So I'll give you that. But again, I think he had a health issue too. I think he's always hurt. A little undersized. Yeah. DJM, should we have gotten the Honey Badger? Depends on what he signed for. I don't know. I mean, he's kind of getting up there in age. Like, would you rather have a young guy like Cisco? And for all the things about Wingard, I know we talk about how Wingard's like, not good, but the dude like is reckless. I mean, he freaking leads with his helmet. Something about that I kind of like, like just like not afraid to get hurt as a safety. Like, you kind of need that. You kind of got to have like missing a couple brain cells to play safety in the NFL at any age. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we probably should have. I mean, I think if we were competing for a Super Bowl this year, I think then we would have probably gone after, a guy like the Honey Badger for sure. Gerald McKinnon, with free agency in the draft, do you think Chazon will be around very long? Unless he does a complete 180, then he will not be around very long. And this is what's scary is Chazon was kind of drafted on the same parameters as Travon Walker. Now, not the same, not comparing. Don't take this out of context. But Chazon was drafted because of his athleticism at that edge position. Travon Walker, much bigger, a little faster. Same thing, though. Drafted on athleticism rather than, production. Florida Boy says, we wouldn't miss Rayshawn. We'd miss him as a person. He probably helps out the community. But no, on the field, absolutely not. See, look, I'm nice to football players because I've talked to football players who have watched my show. And I'm afraid that they're watching. And that's why I'll only critique them. And I'll critique them, but I'll make sure to specify I'm referring to their on-the-field play. Because when some of these people are out there and like, oh, this dude sucks. He's horrible. He's a crap bag. It's like, bro, like he's probably a good guy. He just isn't good at football. I mean, he's good at football. He's in the NFL. I mean, he's got a huge extension. The guy's good at football. I mean, he's better than all of us at football, but he's just not the caliber that we need. So I like to just specify exactly what I mean because I do talk to athletes from time to time that watch the channel. Aiden Tobin says, I think our defense legit can be top 10 this year against the run. The only thing that would hurt that narrative is that we do play, two of the best running backs twice this year. I mean, we played Derrick Henry and Jonathan Taylor. Those are good backs, man. And I mean, they're going to lean on the run, and you can be a good run defense and just play good teams and it hurt your stats. So I see what you're saying. I really do. But I mean, we might be. I can't think of a division that has better running backs than the AFC South. If you factor in James Robinson, I don't think there is a better running back league. I mean, the Cowboys, the Vikings, they got good running backs. I'm probably missing some, but I would take the AFC South over any of those for sure. Robert Colson, what about San Francisco executive? Any Debo chance? I don't know. Again, that's another guy. I think Debo Samuel's another guy that if we were in a position where like we were legit making a run at the playoffs, because Debo's going to demand a lot of money. Quite frankly, I could see him and Christian Kirk playing the same role. I really wanted George Pickens, like a lot of Jags fans, and we talked about that on the pre-draft show, because of his size. And we still is Evan Ingram the jump ball red zone guy? Is that who it is? Got to be, right? Because I mean, our next biggest guy, Marvin Jones, like 6'1". I mean, I don't know much about the undrafted free agent we signed, but I don't want to lean on him to be like the jump ball red zone guy. You got to have a jump ball red zone guy because that opens up everything else. Because if you have a history of, let's say Evan Ingram is the jump ball guy, we're in the red zone. If Evan Ingram consistently comes down with the ball in the red zone, the other team is going to put their best corner on Evan Ingram because they don't want to give that up. And if you got a guy like Jalen Ramsey or Xavier Howard, like they play the jump ball very well. So you'll put them out on Evan Ingram, and that'll leave Christian Kirk, the great route runner, the great slant runner, a tight end Dan Arnold, middle of the field, against the second and third corner, and that's where you can, expose other teams. I really wanted a jump ball guy, and maybe Evan Ingram is. Maybe he is, and if he is, then good, we did it. But I don't know. That's kind of asking a lot out of a guy who had 400 yards last year. Over under 1,000 yards for Kirk. Over. I mean, the guy had 940 last year in Arizona, and he played in an offense that was like backyard football, and he had to run around for 6-second plays and find the open zones and open spaces. Christian Kirk will be better in this offense than he was in Arizona. Not only will he be the one where he was the 2 and even the 3 at times in Arizona, but his skill set as a route runner, his ability to stack the defensive backs and his routes, his ability to run crisp routes, his ability to run timing routes will show more with Trevor Lawrence at quarterback than it will with Kyler Murray, 100%. So I think that's what the Jaguars are banking on as a front office. I think that's why he got so much money, because I think they think that he hasn't even gotten close to his potential because of the offense that he was in. Now, you can say Arizona threw the ball a lot, but Kyler ran the ball a lot. They used their backs out of the backfield a lot. They used their tight ends a lot. So Christian Kirk was just, there in a stacked offense with a lot of mouths to feed and still had like 950 yards. So I'd take the over. If he stays healthy, obviously. I think that's the caveat that we're all expecting. Jesus is King says, what athletes watch your channel? So I talk about this from time to time. I'm not a big gloater, but I do a lot of I do training. I train athletes on the side. Many athletes that I train, I come in contact with have either played in the NFL, play in the NFL, or they're around people that play in the NFL. I've coached with people. I coached for a long time. I've coached with a lot of people that you guys would appreciate. I've even coached with a newly Jag Hall of Famer. So, I mean, again, they're there. They're out there, Jesus King. DJM, I have a feeling the Community movie will come out by the time we win a Super Bowl. Bro, is there a more upsetting way that a series ended than Community? And if you haven't watched Community, you should watch it. If you've watched it and don't like it, that's fair. I know people like that too. I just think it's hilarious. I just love all the actors. So you're right. Disappointing. No movie. Hate to see it. Jags history. Do you think one of our draft picks will win Defensive Rookie of the Year? No. I think Aiden Hutchinson will win Defensive Rookie of the Year when he has 12.5 sacks. That's what I think. But look, I don't blame him. I mean, Josh Allen is Aiden Hutchinson. It's two of the same guy. It makes sense why I take Javon Walker. It does. Aiden Tobin says, I think Zay Jones will be the jump ball guy unless Kevin Austin shows out and gets a role. Okay. I thought Zay Jones was like a little smaller. Maybe he has a vertical. I could be wrong though. Alan Oteza says, go Jags. Thank you, Alan. I'm glad we can take a moment to appreciate all the Jags fans in here, because isn't this great Like, we're a community of Jags fans that are just sitting around talking Jags. This is like literally like what I live for. So thank you guys. Thank you. I don't know if I tell you guys that enough. Thank you. Timmy Devil, United. Would you rather have one wide receiver or one X wide receiver or several B- guys who are reliable, can catch, and make the plays? I want several B- guys, not dependent on one wide receiver. I guess it depends, and I hate using that answer, but like, I get what you're saying. Like the Tom Brady's have gotten away with that B- role, from time to time. But you look at a guy like Devontae Adams, bro. I'd rather have Devontae Adams than like a bunch of slappies that can just run. Because you get a guy like that, he's uncoverable. DeAndre Hopkins, uncoverable. I mean, that's what I would want, but I get what you're saying because you have to factor in the injuries. What receiver like stays on the team they were drafted by? I mean, they all get pissed after 2 years and they want to leave. So I get what you're saying. Reliability is better. But I would just say there probably is a counter argument if you look at these top tier guys. Like, I mean, there's only one DeAndre Hopkins. There's only one Devontae Adams. So it's not really fair what I'm saying. But that would just be the counter argument. Nasir Premier says, nice, bro. Nice flex. I'm not a flexer. For those of you that know me in real life, and there are people in the chat that know me in real life, I'm not a flexer, guys. Like, listen, what am I going to get? I always go back to this point. I have a Matt Jones jersey on my wall. DTWD says, yo, Duval. That's right, DTWD. Well, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Jayville Taylor, not sure if you went over this already, but what do you think about Muma's role is going to be in year one? Okay. I would have given you a solid answer until you put that in year one thing there at the end, because I don't know if he's going to come out of the gates swinging as a starting base middle linebacker. He may. Now remember, in a 3-4, you essentially have two middle linebackers. Foye Lucan slotted in number one. I think Lloyd kind of projects better as an outside linebacker. So I think Muma's role will be a starter in base packages as middle linebacker on first down, second and short, things like that. Third and short, goal line situations. But I think in passing situations, into the quarter, long yardage, I think Muma comes off the field and you bring in a nickel corner. I think this team probably, think about the value they put on Darius Williams versus the value they put on Chad Muma. Like, who would you put on the field more? Because essentially, I think they're going to be the guys that get swapped out for each other. Because if you're in nickel, Williams is on the field. And if you're in base package, Muma's on the field. So I think they're going to prioritize Williams in the slot more than they will Muma. So, but by year 2, year 3, if he's kind of proven that he is a good player, then I think it kind of frees you up with kind of doing some more things with him. And to be fair, I have not watched enough film on Muma. I haven't. So I'm kind of just telling you what I would do if I was in their situation. But ask me again next week on our live show, and I will have the film down. But admittedly, I haven't watched film on Muma yet. Ethan Richards says Balky sucks. Okay, that's fair. DTWD, can we win an AFC South title this season? I think we can. I don't think we will. I kind of talked about this a little bit earlier. Titans will be worse. Colts suck. Texans suck. Can, but I don't know if we will. Aiden Tobin, Zay's like 6'3" and was a big, deep, contested catch guy at the end of his career for the Raiders. Okay, maybe he is then. That's a good point. I like that, Aiden. Timmy Devil says, Balky and said Muma is special teams depth for injuries. That makes sense, and yeah, okay. That's fair. That just kind of sucks because he was drafted in the 3rd round. So, you don't want to take a 3rd-round guy for special teams. 43 career games at Wyoming, 254 total tackles, 142 solo tackles. Wow. 11 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, 3 picks, 6 pass breakups, and 1 forced fumble and 1 fumble recovered. 6'3", 239. 3rd-team All-American. Wow. 2-time All-Mountain West selection. Wow. Recorded an impressive 40-inch vertical jump and a 10-foot, 9-inch broad jump. He also showed solid agility with a 7-second cone drill and a 4.28 20-yard shuttle. I mean, I thought he was just like stacked, yoked dude. At 6'3", 239 is like, I mean, that's like a kind of Kyle Hamilton size. So There you go. Okay, what do we got here? We're at an hour. We'll do a couple more comments here. Critty says D. Will won't play in the slot and Lloyd will start over Muma. Okay, that's fair. Joe McKinnon, I think we have a good group of linebackers and DNs that can drop back in coverage nicely. Yeah, I like Alukin a lot in coverage. Super athletic guy. I loved that pickup. If you haven't watched my film breakdown on Alukin, go back and watch it. It's on my channel. So Lloyd is going to be way better than Miles Jack ever was. I hope so. I sure hope so. Don't forget, Balky doesn't put the players on the field. You're right. That's fair. Shay J, member of the channel. I got to get to Shay's comment in here. Hey, Jason. Have missed too many live streams, but I came late. Which player from the Jags draft would you have replaced with a wide receiver? Good question. I think that I would have replaced the third-round pick, Chad Muma. Like we've kind of been talking about, he seems like a guy that if he is special teams and reserve linebacker, don't take him in round 3. If he's your base package middle linebacker, which is going to be like maybe 30 to 40% of the snaps, I still think a receiver that could potentially fight for that third or fourth spot is more valuable. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, they did fall into a weird spot to get a wide receiver. You're right. And again, like Shay, I was talking about earlier, like they definitely went like best player available. Like there's no doubt about that. And I kind of respect that. That's kind of what I would do. I would go best player available too, because we're especially because we're building for the future. We're not necessarily building for like a run this year. So go best player available. So yeah, but yeah, you're right. They did fall. I mean, weird. I mean, with the 4th pick, Snoop Connor. I mean, or the 5th round, because you've gotten a receiver in the 5th round. I mean, what is Snoop Connor going to do for you? You know, Gregory Jr. from Alchita Baptist. Even if you take a flyer in the 6th round, like, was corner that big of a need? And did you really think that a guy that played in the all-grade American Conference was going to help you more than even a flyer on a receiver? Then they took another DB. I mean, it's just like, I don't know. It was weird. It got weird after Muma. It really did. It got weird. Muma did play safety, and Lloyd did. We will have versatility all over. Yeah, I wish, Critty. I mean, at this point, Balky might be putting players on the field. Don't forget, Balky is king here. Yeah. Doc, we can pick and choose in free agency, but draft, you should take best player available. I feel like that's the approach Balky took. Now we're in position to trade for number 1 receiver. Okay. I like that. Jayville Taylor. The only receiver available at 70 was Jalen Tolbert. I think I'd rather have Muma over him. All right, that's fair. I mean, yeah, another small school guy in Jalen Tolbert for sure. Duval Knoll says, what up, Jags United? Go Jags. What up, Duval Knoll? What's up with the Knowles this year? How are they going to be? I saw they got some transfers in there. Like to see that. Snoop is J-Rob's replacement, says Aiden. Okay. Will Likens says Trent Baalke masterclass. Tuggernut. What up, Tuggernut? It's about time I hear from you. He says the Kevin Austin dude looks pretty decent. Any idea why he went undrafted? No, I don't actually. Admittedly, guys, I have an admission to make to you guys. I should have been watching film on these draft picks, but I had the ability to play golf twice this weekend. I chose golf. So for the time I should have been watching film, I was out on the links hitting some bombs down the middle of the fairway. But rest assured, this week I will do my due diligence and I will make sure I am fully educated on all these draft picks for sure. Timmy Johnson, yes, you have one X receiver. That's great. But if you have a couple wide receivers that can produce, maybe, how can you go wrong? Like when we had Hearns, Cole, and Marquise Lee, even though Allen Robinson was hurt, we did good. It's fair. The small school dude has a crazy RAS score. Yeah, okay. I know. Balky's into the analytics. Jason, where's the stash? It looked nice in your breakdown video. DJ, the stash is coming back. You can bet your bottom dollar on that, dude. I loved the stash. Got it. Couldn't do it for work reasons, but I will do it very soon for sure. Kevin Austin had some issues with weed at Notre Dame, and they punish you for that. That's true, they do. I mean, once a smoker, always a smoker. I mean, that's what I've learned in my life growing up for sure. All right, guys, I think an hour 6 is good. I appreciate you guys being here. I mean, great channel interaction today. I love it, man. Thank you guys so much for being here. To all the people that were active in the chat, thank you. You guys are the ones that make this show go around. And you're the reason why I have so much fun doing this. Shout out to Grace Lambert for the super chats. Jesus is King for the super chats. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys so much. For the channel members, I think I saw Nolly. I saw Shay. Thank you guys for being here. You guys are great. Tomorrow I will have the video of the interview I did with the Vegas betting guy. So that should be good. Talked about Jags the whole time, so I think you guys will like it. Also, this week, the film breakdowns for all the draft picks are coming out. I should have Lloyd done in a couple days. But again, I go through the film, bro. I don't look at the highlights. I go through the film. I watch every single snap because that's the only way you can get a fair representation. Lloyd should be out soon. I might do Muma. I might do Muma and Snoop Connor together just because, for time's sakes. I'll probably do Junior and Brown together. And I'll look into the undrafted free agent for sure. But hey, thank you guys for being here. If you were late, go back and watch it. It's going to get uploaded right when I end it. And then make sure to subscribe. Make sure to follow the social media. I'm trying to get better at Instagram. I'm getting better. But thank you guys again so much for being here. I had a great time. I love it being here with you guys.